Ghost Squad TV, just waking up. Had to recharge the battery before I go get something to eat and lounge out for the night and watch some pro wrestling. But I got a bone to pick with some of y'all Celtics fans. I've had enough. Something gotta be said. Y'all sitting there saying Kemba Walker's damaged goods. I don't know if you guys really listen. Whenever they report on his knee, during the shutdown, he had no trainers because of the whole COVID-19 thing. Meaning, the rehab he was supposed to get during, let's say the season would have kept on. The rehab he was supposed to get, the proper rehab, he wasn't able to get it. So yeah, maybe his knee could have gotten better during the time that he wasn't playing for the 4-month period that we had to shut down. But you still he's a professional athlete, and you still have to bring him back slowly. You're talking about rehabbing a knee. It's not a structural damage issue. It's just rehabbing it, making sure it gets back in the form in order to be able to play. He didn't have the proper rehabilitation during the whole COVID outage. So he comes back. They bring him back slowly. He plays effective in the slow time that he got to play. Comes in, plays the first round incredible, some of the second round great, and then he bumped knees with Pascal Siakam during game 2. And after that, he wasn't quite... Game 3, he had a really good game, and after that, he wasn't really the same. Basically played on one leg the rest of the whole playoffs. You guys are going to sit there and call this being damaged goods when he was an Iron Man in Charlotte. He never got hurt in Charlotte. You're calling this man damaged goods? Kemba Walker is a 5-time All-Star. Back-to-back All-Star game starts. Don't you ever disrespect that man that way. You don't got to sit there and like the fact he didn't put up a great game against Toronto when he scored 5 points in a triple overtime game. That's fine. You want to get on that man for that man. Listen, Kemba will be the first one to get on himself for that. But to sit there and trash that man as if like he's garbage, that he needs to be shipped out because Brad Stevens said he just wants to be careful with that knee. Brad Stevens is just going based on the training parameters. There's no structural damage to Kemba. Kemba probably been rehabbing the knee the whole entire time since the NBA season's up. Because now you have trainers. Kemba ain't hurt. You know what Brad's doing? He's just trying to strategize. He's doing what Toronto did with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard had knee problems. Guess what? They didn't have to play him every game. It was like, you know what? We got a strong backup plan. We got Siakam out there. We don't need to rush Kemba back. Let's just let Kemba get... Oh, we want Kemba for the playoffs. We want Kemba to be healthy for the playoffs. The regular season's the regular season. He'll put up his 24, 25 that he normally puts, and that'll be it. Once you get into the playoffs, you really need them. You don't really need players that much in the regular season like that unless you're outside of Tatum and JB. To call him damaged goods before he even plays a game this year, as if like he missed 35 games a year, damaged goods was Gordon Hayward. As a matter of fact, he was never damaged. He was never good. He had one good year. Kemba Walker is a far more superior player than Gordon Hayward ever thought about being. You don't sit there and disrespect that man the day before Thanksgiving in the Celtic room post and disrespect Kemba Walker? Man, y'all need to get off the drugs. Kyrie Irving was never healthy when he played for the Celtics either. Don't you find that to be coincidental? Isaiah Thomas was never healthy when he played for the Celtics. Don't you find that to be a little weird? Y'all need to look at the trainers, the training spot. Ever since Danny changed the training staff, things have been hell for the Celtics when it comes to point guards. And they're in the most overly used position of all the players that Brad likes to use. Don't you find that to be a little weird that the point guards aren't getting the proper rehab? Instead of just sitting there talking about we should ship him out like morons. You need to realize that you cannot get rid of a player that has 141 on his contract, who's on a max deal, who's worth every bit of that max, who showed and proved, even on one leg, still put up 21.1 points a game in the playoffs on one leg. They didn't lose because of Kemba. They lost because Brad Stevens couldn't figure out a 2-3 zone. That's why we lost. If Brad Stevens can't figure out a zone and have a lack of a big man problem, we probably win that series. Kemba Walker was actually the key to the zone because you know what? Whenever they zone, he knew how to break it. But it wasn't him. The problem was never him. So y'all need to check yourselves. Stop with the hate. Some of y'all are just closet Kyrie fans. Where were y'all saying all this nonsense when Kemba went and put a 40 on the Nets? When you guys were booing Kyrie out the building when he didn't even show up, when he did that nonsensical tweet from home on his or message on his Instagram. When you guys were screaming and booing Kyrie out the building. Was it now also nobody cares about Kemba? You just have maybe one or two bad games in the playoffs. Also now you guys are garbage goods. You guys don't understand and don't even read in this shit. You let Chris Forsberg tell you what an injury is. Kemba Walker will be just fine. You don't need him for some of these games. It's like you didn't need Kyrie for some of these games. We'll be all right. Our offense is more known at this point for JB and JT and a lot of the pieces that are around there. Kemba Walker is the X factor. If Kemba's not on, we ain't winning. Because you can't double team JB, you can't double team Tatum, and double team Kemba. What you could do is run a zone. But if Brad can't figure out a 1-2 zone or a 2-3 zone, that's on Brad. So stop smoking. I'm about ready to go get me some grub. Y'all niggas need to stop smoking. Stop smoking the dust that y'all be smoking. Stop that already, man. Just stop it. Enough's enough. Leave that man be. Kemba Walker is an all-star, perennial all-star for a reason. Have some respect. He is not John Wall, who misses years and years of games. He is not Kyrie Irving, who misses large amounts of times. Look at Kemba Walker's track record before he became a Celtic. And then look at what the training staff has been doing. You tell me, whose fault is it? Sharing Kemba's. Now you want to go into a UConn product dirty. I find that shit to be funny. Some of you Boston fans. It is what it is. A bunch of Benedict Arnolds that want to sit there and hold the Revolutionary War against people from Connecticut. That's funny. Regardless, it is what it is. Kemba Walker will be just fine. He'll have an all-star year. And you'll realize all the stuff he said about him. It's going to look stupid in pretty much April. Go Squad TV. I'll be back later for some more content. I need to get some grub. Peace.